Hello everyone, welcome to Dragonforce tutorial series number 1. For our first video, we are going to create a simple system that calculates your train ticket price between randomly selected stations. We are going to use Python and we're going to use a concept 2D array to do so. So first, here's our table that represents our 2D array. So as you can notice, the columns and the rows, basically they are the station names. So for example, if a person wants to travel from City Hall to the stadium, its corresponding value is 2, which means it costs $2 to travel between these places. And let's look at the screen. So we want the user to input the departure station and the destination station so they can type in the information necessary for the ticket's price calculation. If the user wants to purchase another few tickets, they can continue to do so by pressing C. Then also press S to proceed to this payment. And then finally, the program will output the cost, the total cost of the tickets or multiple tickets. And then here are our key components for this algorithm. We first create a dictionary to store the station name and its corresponding indices. So for example, the City Hall, its corresponding indices is 0, which helps the program to translate the literal station name and its numerical value inside the program. And then for the 2D array, I already explained in this part, so there's no need to explain again. And also we need while loop to allow users to purchase multiple tickets, which I already explained here. This basically is a loop, right? Because we want users to continually be able to type in the information and purchase multiple tickets. We also need to create a list in order to calculate the total cost of tickets. So for example, whenever the user finishes typing the information for one ticket, its price will be stored inside this list. If the user wants to continue to do so and purchase another ticket, the second ticket's price will be stored in this list. And eventually, the total cost for the user's tickets, the multiple tickets, will be the sum of all the values inside this list. Okay, so here's our basic concept. And now let's start to program this simple system. We need a dictionary to store all the station's name and its corresponding indices. So we name our dictionary stations, and then inside the brace we type in all the necessary station names and its indices. So for example, City Hall, its indices is 0, right? And then you can do so for another 3 stations. Okay, now we have our dictionary, and then we need to create a list named cost in order to get the sum of all the prices of the total price, the total cost of all the tickets that the user purchased. So we create our list here, name cost, and then we need to manually create a 2-dimensional array. So we name our array fair array, and at this point we just plug in all the numbers in our table here since it's already available. Okay, so here's our 2-dimensional array, and now we want start letting users to input to type in the departure station, the value of the destination, right? So we want to let them input, and they can do so multiple times. So we need to start a while loop. So while true, and then we let them input the departure station and destination station. Okay, And now we want to access the value inside the 2D array. How do we access? Why do we want to access the value inside the 2D array? Because we represent the price, right? So after they they input the departure station and the destination station, we want to get the price of the corresponding places, the stations. So for example, how do we access? We look at the rows first. So what is the row index for this 2 array? Let's say if you want to travel from, let's say, City Hall, right? The row index which start from 0 in this case will be 0, right? And if you want to travel from City Hall to the stadium, what is the column index? The column index will be 2. So it's 0 and 2. Our row index is 0 and the column index is 2, right? So the corresponding value is 2, right? 0, 2, and the corresponding value is 2. So how do we do this? We declare our variable price first because that reflects our price. And then what is the name of our array? It's fare array. And then we need to translate from its literal the station's literal names to its corresponding indices in order for the array to understand what is the index that we want to look for and what is our value, right? So for the first one is departure, which is our row station, sorry, and then we do so for the columns again, the same concept. Destination. Okay. And then after we obtain the price of one ticket, if the user want to purchase another ticket, right? So we first want to add the price to our list first, right? So we store it inside our list first. So let's say if the user want to purchase another ticket, the price will be stored again, right? So we have multiple values inside this list. So how do we do that? How do we add the value into our list? Cost dot append, so which is the list name dot append, which is how you add it, and then the variable name price. Okay, so now let's say we want the user to be able to decide whether they want to continue to purchase another ticket or not, right? So continue or not, that's how we name this variable. And then we let them type C or S. And then if this variable equals to S, then we have to stop the loop. So we break the loop, and then else if the variable is equal to C, then we continue the loop. Okay, and finally we want to print the total cost of all the tickets. So how do we get the sum of this list? It's very simple. We just type sum and then bracket the name of the list. Okay, and then we print your total cost is. Okay, here's our complete program, and let's test if it works. So for example, if I travel from City Hall to the park, I assume that the total the cost for one ticket will be $3, right? Let's say one multiple ticket, two tickets, right? So it will be $6. So let's say if the program outputs $6, okay? So we run the file. Have to wait for a moment. Okay, so departure station, city hall, destination park. We want to continue to purchase another tickets. Now we stop the loop. So yes, the output is $6. So here's how we apply two-dimensional array using Python to calculate the cost. And then the two-dimensional array could be used for many other purposes. It's a very useful tool.